Hi, my name is Ricky Sorrentino, and I would like to welcome you to my developmental history project. I was born on October 14th, 1992. I am 20 years old, the second oldest in my family. I was born a whopping 10 pounds 6 ounces, which my mother was sure to appreciate. I have an older sister, Nicole, who is 22, a younger sister, Kelly, who is 18, and a younger sister, Erin, who is currently 12 years old. I am the only boy in my family of 4 women. I was very fortunate as a young child. I learned many key values early on, mostly from my father, a lot from my mother. Growing up being the only boy in a house full of all women, I learned to fend for myself. I always had my dad on my side, though, which was a beautiful gift. My dad was always there to stick up for me, and I learned, how to take care of myself as a young child. That was my first developmental stage. I was basically on my own. I was forced to play with Barbie dolls and stupid things like that as a child, being the only boy in the family, and my father basically pulled me out of that by himself. And I learned to really do manly things with my father. I was basically attached to his hip as a child, and he taught me everything it is to be a man, a lot of key characteristics that have molded me into the man that I am today. I'd say in early middle school was when I entered the child development stage and when I realized that I was more of a bodily kinesthetic learner. I really started to take pride in my sports, mostly football, which I still play to this very day. I learned that I am better learning in motion. Harwood Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence just pointed out that learning in motion, learning on the move, was a bodily kinesthetic style of learning. After taking multiple tests in college, I have confirmed that I am a bodily kinesthetic learner. I liked being with my friends, studied in groups, always on the move. You'd like to move around while studying, and that basically pointed out to me that I am a bodily kinesthetic learner, which I started developing in middle school. In my last few years as an intermediate learner, I basically kept developing my bodily kinesthetic learning techniques. I started to take my academics a little bit more seriously, started to find out a little bit more of myself, became more of an independent person, which is another big step in my childhood development. And this was my last big step going into high school, which was going to be a huge step, starting to learn on my own, be my own man, head into a new environment, and see how I adapt to change. My freshman year was just like anybody else's freshman year, where you adapt to a change of environment. You learn to become your own person. I didn't go to the same school as many of my friends. I actually went to Fenwick when the majority of them went to a different high school. I became friends with a bunch of my fellow athletes, mostly football, who are still a lot of my best friends to this very day. I took my academics much more seriously, became a very developmental learner, and really took my academics seriously, which got me into a great university. My life actually drastically changed going into my sophomore year of high school. My sophomore year of high school was when my father had to go in for open heart surgery, and everything that could go wrong basically went wrong. He was diagnosed with septic shock, which is a disease that slowly shuts down all the organs of your body, starting with your kidneys and going to your lungs. My father fought this infection for 2 long years, was in and out of rehab centers all over the state of Illinois. He fought like mad to get back to his family, never gave up, and this was probably the biggest developmental stage in my life. This is where I really became a man, and this was the last lesson that my father taught me to become a man. You can never give up on what you truly want, which is to get back to your family. You could always keep fighting. You can never let anybody tell you that you're not good enough or that you don't have a chance to accomplish something. Anything that you put your mind to is possible. My father fought like mad to get back to his family. He did for periods of time, never made a full recovery. But the lessons that I learned throughout this time period in my life forever shaped me, made me the most mature 15, 16-year-old man I feel like that was ever on the face of the earth at that time. And taught me patience, taught me the value of family, and taught me a great work ethic. And I carry all of these traits and characteristics with me this very day, and I am so proud to be his son. I lost my father before my senior year football season, which was going to be the first season that he actually wasn't able to watch of mine playing football. I dedicated this season to him, and my actual high point of football career came that senior year when I actually returned the only touchdown in the Chicago Prep Bowl City Championship to win that game 6-0 And that game, I believe, my father was with me, and that game guided me on my course to actually getting an opportunity to play football at Butler University. Coming to college was another drastic change in my life. It was the first time I was truly on my own in a completely different state, away from my family and my support group. For a while there, I really didn't know if I was going to make it or not. I was really pushed to the brink of exhaustion, depression, everything. Just being away from my family just wasn't sitting well with me. But I look back at my development throughout my life, my development of a great work ethic, my development of patience, my development of my love for my family, and I realized that I am strong enough to do anything, which is what my father taught me throughout his struggle in his sickness, that anything you put your mind to, you can accomplish. And now, going into my redshirt sophomore year of football, I am in line to start at middle linebacker. Hopefully that all works out. I have looked back on my life with no regrets. I love all the lessons that I've learned throughout my life. I will cherish my time here at Butler, and I can't wait to get out into the education field and make something of myself.